Hi, I'm Deanna from thefaiththatgrows.com, and I have another twin flame reading today. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I hope you're here to stay. My readings are free flow, as all readings should be. I just let whatever comes out come out. And I actually want to speak to that before I even get started. I've been coming across an aspect of consciousness that's trying to tell me, not to sound all weird about it. When I say I'm coming across an aspect of consciousness, what I mean is I'm coming across the same thing happening over and over again. Whether it be through people telling me things or just things kind of come in waves. For instance, in the twin flame community I'm a part of, Jeff and Shaleia's community, there's been a wave of people's twin flames or family members thinking that this is a cult, like the whole twin flame community is a cult, and Jeff and Shaleia are cult leaders. There's been like a wave of that happening. And so we are interacting with this aspect of consciousness, and it's our choice whether or not to transcend it or get caught up in it and let it overpower us and convince us it's right, which it's not. And so that's what I mean. For instance, maybe you're experiencing no one believing you when you talk about your twin flame, or you're experiencing people putting you down for doing something, and it's repetitive. That means it's coming up to be healed. It's a pattern, or it's an aspect of consciousness that needs to be handled, so you transcend it. And so that's what I mean. And I've been coming across an aspect of consciousness lately that has been trying to tell me that I need to be psychic in order to do card readings, or I need to be some sort of special... I'm basically coming across an aspect of consciousness that would have me believe I'm not allowed to do card readings. And it's true, I'm not... I don't claim to be psychic. I can't, predict people's futures. I don't have a crystal ball, although this thing is pretty cool. This is it's a flower. That's pretty cool. I love flowers. I don't know if you can tell, but yeah, so I've been, in my personal life, I've been dealing with an aspect of consciousness that would have me believe I'm not allowed to be a reader because it's not my ultimate life purpose. And I have been very diligently uprooting that consciousness in my reality, because I will never allow someone to tell me what I can or cannot do. I love doing readings, and I do them differently than other people, and everyone's readings are different and appropriate for the people that are attracted to their readings. I set the intention that God moves through me, and whatever God wants to talk about is what's going to be talked about. And whomever is attracted to the reading, the message is meant for them. And since I set that intention and I make that choice to be a divine channel for God, that is what happens. So, I mean, my guess is, since I started talking about that this reading is going to be, have a lot to do with that energy of, standing up for yourself and not letting other people tell you what you can or can't do. So I already pulled the cards. Sometimes I shuffle and pick on camera. Other times I'd rather just have the whole spread out ahead of time. And this time I just wanted to draw the cards really quickly instead of rummaging through decks, and taking up time. So that's what's appropriate for now. So let's get started. The first card that came up is Magic is Alive, Ask Your Divine Child. This card always comes up for me and other people if I'm doing readings for them, if they need to get in touch with their inner child. It's, your inner child is like always with you. And when you do inner child healing, you're just talking to the little girl or little boy that's always inside of you. They never leave. Your inner child is ever present. And that's what I think of when I see this picture. There's this, well, it says it's a fairy goddess mother. And there's this child. And that's the way that this picture speaks to me, is that this little girl is always with her, just like your inner child is always with you. There's also, if you can see, there's like a trail. There's like this mystical opening in the woods, and they came out of it and they left a trail. That's really interesting. I've never actually zeroed in on that part of this card before. Every time I pull cards, I see a different part of the card. And that's why I love working with the cards, is because every time you pull one, it's going to point you to a different aspect of it. And you draw from it whatever you're meant to at that time. So sometimes cards mean completely different things at different times, whereas other cards are pretty consistent. Why get in touch with your inner child? Why heal your inner child? Why care about your inner child at all? What does that mean? Well, first of all, if you grew up and you didn't experience the perfect childhood, then you have some wounding from childhood. And I don't know anybody on this planet or any other that experienced a 100% safe and happy childhood. It might have been just fine. It might have been good. You maybe think like, oh, I can't complain. But the fact of the matter is, since people are not with their twin flames, most families are kind of broken because they're not built around your soul family. They're not built around twin flame relationships, which are eternal. They're built around temporary lessons that need to be learned. And so it's very common for you to vibe out of your family connections, as well as other connections you make. And that's okay. But it's important to, I kind of think of myself as a big kid. I took on this adult. I took on the costume of being an adult in this world, and whatever that means, for, what was it, like 19, 20, 3 or 4 years? And that was enough for me. I'm 24, by the way. I tried it on for a little bit. I didn't even make it all the way through college. Any of the times I tried, I did not make it into any big boy job or big girl job or professional career. Not because I'm not hardworking, dedicated, and intelligent, but because I just really don't want anything to do with the working world as it is now. And that doesn't make me lazy, and that doesn't mean I'll never make something of myself. What it means is I took a look around and said, no, none of this is for me. Even though the world presented me with all these options and made it seem like these were the only options available, I didn't like them, so I just disregarded all of it and kept moving in the direction of what did feel good to me. And that's what kids do. I made a video and a blog post about this, more in depth, connecting with your inner child. But basically all I want to say today is I'm learning to integrate being as a child more and more into my everyday life. It doesn't mean being stupid or like pretending you don't know what you know. It's just about being a mature child. Be as a child is about the innocence, sincerity, joyfulness, and curiosity that children have. And they're always just going from one thing that feels good to the next thing that feels good. and when they get upset, they scream and cry and throw their hissy fits, and that's not a bad thing. And so, magic is alive. Ask your divine child. I think one of the keys to getting into twin flame union is embracing being childlike. And like I said, that doesn't mean you need to pretend like you don't know what you know, or like you need to like giggle incessantly and pretend to be like a baby, but it just means getting back in touch with what's really important. And the way children live their lives is how we should all live our lives. The whole dynamic of enjoy being a child, because when you're an adult, everything goes to hell. Or like, you know, adults look at younger people and they go, oh man, you haven't made now, just wait till the real world gets you. I think all of life, all of existence should just be one eternal childhood, because we're all children of God. And so we will always be children. And you can't do anything about that. You can't change that, right? You will always be God's child, because you can't be greater than God. You can't be God's parent. And so since there's something greater than you that created you, you're an eternal child. So that's what I was getting from that card. Next card that came up. And you and your twin flame were created to be as children together, hand in hand. And that's why when I first met my twin, we were like little children in the house. Like, we just always wanted to watch movies or hang out or like goof off or like, you know, and I really just didn't want to do anything adulty around my twin, because I just wanted to have fun forever with him. I just wanted to be as a child and run around and have fun and adventure all the time. Like, you know, when you're a little kid and you meet somebody, you meet another little kid, and you just like, you know, like, okay, now that we're together, we're gonna get in some trouble. We're gonna go explore. We're gonna like probably end up getting grounded. Like, that's kind of how it is with your twin. It's like it's your buddy. And I think that's a really sweet way to look at your relationship with them, because it can get really clouded with all of this mirroring stuff and all of this healing work that comes up to do. But just always remember that this is like God's gift for you to have this person who you can have fun with all the time and just like go play. Which brings us into this card. I got another new deck. I am addicted to getting new decks. This one is The Miracles Now by Gabby Bernstein. Gabby Bernstein is the woman who I credit with drawing me into spirituality in the first place. She got to me, I found her YouTube videos in high school, and her YouTube channel, along with her books and the book The Secret, is what drew me into the whole spiritual New Age stuff that then eventually led me into Jeff and Shaleia's teachings. So I love her deck. I just want to rave about it. I've never had a deck that is square, so that's really fun. Also, the cards are really pretty. They really resonate with me, how they're designed, because they have pretty colors on them. I just love when things are brightly colored, vivid. I like different patterns and textures, and that's all of them have like, it's so fun, and the edges are like sparkly. Or maybe I've shuffled all the sparkle out of them, I don't know. But yeah, I got that today and I'm really happy with it. There's not many things that fill me with joy quite the same as going on my porch and seeing that there's a package and I know it's a new deck of cards. Yeah, so one of the cards I pulled from the Miracles Now deck for this reading is, I measure my success by how much fun I'm having. And this is getting into life purpose area stuff, but both life purpose and twin flame stuff is my jam. I just really like the card, so I'll just keep holding it until I don't want to anymore. Having fun. Yeah, so when you're living your life purpose, you're just basically having fun all the time. And that's like being like a kid. It's like being paid to be a child. You eat when you want, however much you want, whatever you want. Sleep whenever you want for however long you want. You set your own hours. You only do the work that feels good. You're flowing with your natural rhythms when you live your life purpose. And it should always be fun. And that is a good way to measure success. It's not the only way to measure success, but it is the card that came up for today, and it goes along with getting in touch with your inner child. I do want to say, though, that you don't have to force playing or having fun. There's some times where I felt like, oh my gosh, I need to have fun right now, and then I make it like a stressful thing that I have to have fun right now. It just doesn't work. So I think the best thing to do is just, first of all, breathe. I probably need to do that right now. Every time I drink coffee, I get really jazzed up. And I used to, I actually wanted to talk about this. And God provided a window of opportunity. I can't drink coffee anymore. I try like once a week. And I don't even drink coffee. I mean, like my mom will brew a pot. And I'll put like this much coffee in a cup. And the rest is vanilla soy milk. So it's basically like a very weak Olay. But even that, it gets me wired tired. So I'm like wired, but I'm tired. And I can't rest because I'm jittery. Even just that small amount is doing it for me. And it's interesting because I used to work in a coffee shop and get access to unlimited espresso drinks, unlimited espresso shots, unlimited coffee, unlimited lattes. And I would just drink so much. I consumed so much caffeine. And then when I worked in restaurants, it was the same thing. I started off with like a 4-shot latte every morning, continuously consumed coffee during my shift. And it was like a necessary component of my day. And if I didn't have like my chai, like my soy chai or my soy latte, if I didn't have it, then it wasn't a good day. Compared to now, where I hardly ever think about coffee or espresso drinks, and when I do, it's like a fleeting thought. It's just interesting. When I hated my job, I needed to look forward to something, and that was coffee. But now that I'm living my life purpose and I'm really enjoying my days, and I wake up excited and I'm excited all day, and I'm really, my own excitement for what I'm doing is my caffeine. It's a natural caffeine, and it doesn't get me too hyped up, and I never crash because, it's getting your energy from God. I'm learning to do that more and more as I embrace my life purpose and shed old work paradigm. And I just realized I was sitting on the front steps earlier in the sunshine, and I just realized that I had all the time in the world. And I just subscribed to Life Purpose class in January and embraced my life purpose. And so I'm really new to this freedom. I'm really new to being able to be like a child all the time. I'm really new to living in full alignment with all that I am, and I never have to set an alarm and get up. I never have to, I used to have to beg for breaks at work. And I usually didn't get them because I worked in a restaurant, and, people are constantly coming in. I'm always getting tables. There's always something that needs to be done. And then when I did get a break, I would just sit outside kind of like this. Just in kind of terror, not even relaxing for 10 minutes and then go back inside. And it was just constant stress. So yeah. I measure my success by how much fun I'm having. Absolutely. And if it's not fun, or if I'm not really receiving anything from what I'm doing, I just stop doing it. Because when you live your life purpose, what you're doing is also giving to you at the same time that you're giving it. I'm going to transition right over into these other cards. Accept the opportunity that is offered. And self-employment. So this is really encouraging you to, if you haven't already, consider how magical your life would be if you didn't have to answer to someone else as your boss. What if you could just, like I've been describing this whole time, what if you could wake up whenever you wanted to? What if you could organize your day and your schedule totally based around you, instead of you organizing all of your life around the workings of a restaurant or a business or an office or someone else's thing? What if it was all organized around you, your flow, your nature, your gifts, your talents, your strengths, your weaknesses? They're all utilized and perfectly. Accept the opportunity that is offered. I am offering you an opportunity right now. I'm offering free life purpose readings and coaching sessions to people who subscribe to Life Purpose class, Jeff and Shaleia's Life Purpose class. You don't need this incentive to make it worth it. It's totally worth it on its own, but I want to help encourage people. So please take me up on that offer. That's funny how God works. I didn't know what this card was for when it came up, but it was to help me. It was to help me offer this to you. Now, I will say I haven't mastered my life purpose journey yet. I just started in January. Of course, I've been living it my whole life. I've always been seeking this. I've done a lot of inner work to get to this point where this is viable for me. And I will say there are many blocks to doing this. You might think, I can't live a free lifestyle. I'm not responsible. I'm not disciplined enough. I can't do that. I have to work for other people. No, that you limitless opportunity. You can do anything you want to. You can transcend any situation that you're not happy with, as long as you do it right. And that's what Life Purpose class teaches you. You're a born entrepreneur, and your business is surrounded by magical opportunities. Look how free that mermaid is. She's having a good old time. She's behaving as a child. She's playing. Yeah, and so these cards came up together. Accept the opportunity that is offered, and self-employment. Oops. if you're waiting for someone else to pull you out of your misery, it's not gonna happen. Videos like this, if you're watching it and getting triggered, or if you're getting pinged, if you're feeling like, oh, this message is for me, this is God trying to reach out to you, and offer you a way out. No one's gonna come in your life and force you to do anything, because you have free will. And so it was my choice to join Life Purpose class. I did it when I didn't have the money to do it, but I knew I needed to do it because I loved myself. And I couldn't live the way I was living anymore. It got to the point where every time my alarm went off in the morning, I was filled with rage and I wanted to cry. Because I knew that my time was so much more valuable than $12 an hour. I knew that my talents were not being put to good use. But I also knew I didn't want to go to college and go try to work for somebody else. Like, no, 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 no. Do you resonate? Join Life Purpose class. Stay optimistic. Your dreams are coming true. Don't quit right before the miracle. You know what's really fun and cute, special about this is if you look, she's kind of here. Right, you see that? That person? That's how my twin flame union kind of feels right now. I feel like I'm kind of like swimming in the depths of my subconscious, doing all this inner healing work. And every now and then I pop out and look around and I'm like, is my twin here yet? And he's right over there. He's right just around the river bend. I love these cards because they look so magical. The setting of every card is like a fairy tale. Your dreams are coming true. Don't quit right before the miracle. Yeah, everything you've ever wanted is just a few choices away. Don't give up. That's all I have to say about that. And that leads me into this card. Trust. This situation is calling for you to have faith. It looks like this little peanut was conspiring to get these two together. It's like another inner child thing. This situation is calling for you to have faith. It does seem sometimes like twin flame union will just never happen. Like, but that's because you are here right now, moving through your upsets, and at this point in time, you are not aligned to your union yet. And so this is where patience comes in, and patience is a really difficult thing. It always has been a hard thing for me my whole life. I just looked at the clock and it's 6:16, which means that new relationships are imminent, which is really cool. I've been feeling for quite some time now that my union is just about to happen. It's kind of a trap, but it's also speaking to the deep inner truth that you are already one with your twin. And every day that goes by, and every block you move through, every step forward you take, you're gonna feel like it's just around the corner. Oh, I think it's gonna happen today. I think it's gonna happen tomorrow. Oh my God, I feel like it's happening right now. That it's because it's like already happening, you know, and you're accelerating. I just had 50 words flood my head all at one time. I should not drink coffee anymore. I never understood why people had decaf, and now I understand because I still love the taste of lattes and coffee. I like the taste, I really do, but I can't handle caffeine anymore. I'm like bouncing off the walls. It may not seem like it, but to me, this is bouncing off the walls. I feel pretty jacked right now. Um, yeah. I choose to ground my energy. Trusting your twin flame, trusting God, trusting the process, and also validating the fact that these are your feelings. You're madly in love with your twin flame, and you feel like you're supposed to be together. You feel like you're twin flames. You feel like you want to talk to them. You have all these feelings. To not trust your own feelings and everything that's brought you to all of this twin flame information. Why do you think you were led here? Do you think like someone's pulling a massive prank on you? No. How many thousands of us are searching online for twin flame information? How many of us are seeking the answer? We've all known that this big shift was supposed to take place on this planet in 2012 and all that stuff. It's this twin flame movement. This is it. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Jeff and Shaleia met in 2012. I have to double check on that, but I'm pretty sure it's in a video or a class or something. They mentioned that they met in 2012. It's no small thing, this twin flame journey. This is us manifesting heaven on earth. You have to trust that and understand how big this is. And that it's inevitable because you're choosing it. You could at any time choose away from it, but don't. You do have to trust the process, though. There are many times I've been really frustrated. I'm like, why haven't I almost just said his name. Oh my god. Careful. Although I'm sure he'll be in a video with me in the future and it wouldn't be a big deal. But just to protect the innocent, sometimes I get frustrated and I'm like, why are he and I not talking yet? Why is there still this space? And when I tune in, I realize it's me asking for this space right now. Obviously, because your twin flame is you. If they've blocked you, if they're distancing themselves from you, it's because you're both calling for this time apart. And the truth is, I'm not ready yet. What does that mean for me? Does that mean I'm a coward? That I don't want my love story? No, it's just that I really truly have needed this time and space to myself. And I can't wait until we do come into union. And then we're going to have a whole eternity of growth and expansion and love to share together. But it's okay that right now, this is where I'm at. And I trust the process. The other romance card that came up was make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. And that goes right along with trust. Making the effort is not always physically reaching out to them. In fact, on the twin flame journey, it is rarely reaching out to them in the physical. It's about going within. What doesn't feel good to me right now? Right now, it doesn't feel good to me that I don't have a car because it severely limits my freedom and I desire to travel this summer. Okay, so this is what I work on. This is my next thing. That's when you make the effort to heal your life and everything you're unhappy with, including self-employment, if that is where your heart is leading you, you have to make the effort to improve your life and how you feel about yourself and your circumstances. Otherwise, what do you expect your twin flame to do? They're not going to come in and fix your life. They can't do anything for you. They can be your partner. They will be your partner. But if you're not actively manifesting your dream life now, why would you suddenly start when they show up? Don't you want to be happy now? Right? Another one of Gabby's cards that came up is, I let my intimate relationships be my greatest learning devices for spiritual growth and healing. I have been having a lot of issues come up, not issues, a lot of learning experiences come up with people who I have a relationship with. And what I'm noticing is there's a theme, and that theme is me standing up for myself and not letting other people tell me how I feel, not letting other people control my experience of reality. Like I said in the beginning of this video, I've experienced an aspect of consciousness repeatedly trying to tell me that I can't do readings, or it's not my life purpose to do them. And the truth of the matter is, God led me to do readings to help me transition out of working in a restaurant. And I still very much enjoy doing readings. I buy a new deck like once every 2 weeks. I love connecting to the decks. I love talking to God through them. And when I do my readings for people, whether it's life purpose or twin flame reading, I feel lit up inside. I love channeling information for people from the readings, from the cards that come up. And I've only gotten incredibly positive feedback on how healing it's been for the people who have received them. And so all of your intimate relationships are mirroring something to you. And so since I had a lot of my intimate relationships recently try to throw me off of what I knew to be true in my heart, well, that's something for me to look at. And when I have been tuning in, I'm very unsure of myself right now. I'm very tentative about everything I'm doing because I'm kind of blown away with how quickly everything's happening. It seems like every day I wake up and I've advanced further in some area, and all these things are going on, and they're all positive, but it's so much expansion so quickly that I'm almost shocked, and I'm like trying to keep up. But that's why God has you rest. You have your resting periods. So just pay attention to what your intimate relationships are telling you right now. Are you having the same fight with your family member over and over and over again? It's time to look at how you are contributing to this. You cannot control how other people react to you and what you do. And you also don't have to overtly defend yourself. That's another thing I'm learning. Since you can't control what other people think of you, you may as well not even try. I'm choosing to release all forms of people pleasing and only please myself and God. Because that's all that matters. And the friendships and intimate relationships that I attract when I'm in alignment with myself and God, great. They will be mutually beneficial. But then also other ones will vibe away or vibe out. I really don't speak to any of my biological family at this time. And I used to feel very guilty about that until I realized that I'm the youngest one in the family by at least 30 years. That's an exaggeration. 15, 20 years. I don't have, at least on my mom's side, I don't really have anyone close to my age. Everyone is like 50s and above. And so why is it my responsibility? You know, they would have me believe it's my responsibility. But all relationships are two-way streets. And ultimately, I'm really only interested in my soul family at this point. So yeah, use what's coming up in your intimate relationships as a tool, just as you use your twin flame relationship as a tool. What is being shown to you? What friendships are blossoming as you claim your divinity, and which ones are falling away? That's a very revealing thing. As you step into your power and stop taking shit from people, who's suddenly not talking to you anymore? Or who just doesn't feel comfortable in your presence anymore as you claim all of who you are? It's actually a really relieving process to weed those people out. Another card that came up is the High Lord of Gratitude and Service. Selflessness, humility, and conscious action. So you notice he is holding... Oh, wow. He's holding a beautiful flower, which is a symbol for enlightenment. Because flowers are considered the enlightenment of plants. Because it's a blossoming. It's a total shift. It's I actually just got the book A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle from the library. And I will find the passage in it. It's really good. So when you are alert and contemplate a flower, crystal, or bird without naming it mentally, it becomes a window for you into the formless. There is an inner opening, however slight, into the realm of spirit. This is why these three enlightened life forms have played such an important part in the evolution of human consciousness since ancient times. Yeah, I want to find the other part of that too. Yes. Flowers, more fleeting, more ethereal, and more delicate than the plants out of which they emerged, would become like messengers from another realm, like a bridge between the world of physical forms and the formless. They not only had a scent that was delicate and pleasing to humans, but also brought a fragrance from the realm of spirit. Using the word enlightenment in a wider sense than the conventionally accepted one, we could look upon flowers as the enlightenment of plants. Any life form in any realm, mineral, vegetable, animal, or human, can be said to undergo enlightenment. It is, however, an extremely rare occurrence, since it is more than an evolutionary progression. It also implies a discontinuity in its development, a leap to an entirely different level of being, and most important, a lessening of materiality. So it talks about how like rocks under extreme circumstances become like crystals, and they turn into something totally different. Right? This is no ordinary rock, right? And those flowers, that's no ordinary plant. And this is what our enlightenment is we're not just steadily evolving like this. What's happening right now with this twin flame movement is, we've been steadily evolving, and now we're going to leap up and just bloom as a flower would, become the crystal, when before we were just a rock. And that's really cool that he's holding a flower, and there's a bird behind him. I have black hawks come and visit me, or crows, sorry, black crows, hawks, a black crow. What is the difference? I don't know. It's a black crow. He always lands on my neighbor's house and looks into my window, and he makes sure I can see him. And if I don't see him, he cries out, and once I look at him and we lock eyes for a second, he flies away every single time. And so that's really cool. that I just read that birds, flowers, and crystals are like a symbolism for our enlightenment. Yeah, and it's just, you share your joy with people. Enlightenment is just it's just a blossoming into joy, into beauty. I just realized I'm wearing a floral shirt and my leggings have roses on them. I'll show you. See that? I'm all about the flowers. That's, you know, why the faith that grows fits so well for me. And this last card is the Cosmos. Creativity and vastness. That is such a beautiful card. I'm actually going to go to the book for this one. I have a feeling there's something real good in here. The cosmos appears always as an ally and never as a challenger. Challenger meaning in reverse. Meaning you got a block somewhere. This is a sign to place your attention on creative projects. They will be successful. Remember that all of life is creative and you're always co-creating with the divine. The cosmos also represents the principle of infinity and the vastness of the energetic exchange of consciousness influencing all living things. I see a theme to this reading. This teaches us that every intention we set is in fact contagious with the power to influence others. We're entangled at our deepest energetic place, so we can't help but have an effect on others from an individual level to a global one. Oh, sorry, I was kind of going like that. This is a sign to remind you to open up the well of creativity deep within you and be mindful of your thoughts and actions. Both are influencing the outer world. Most important, keep taking actions toward your goals as the cosmos responds perfectly to manifest your highest destiny. Expect to be inspired and to meaningfully touch others with all that you create. That's so exciting. I love that as the end to this reading. I have so much fun making videos for YouTube. I find it really fun pulling out cards and using them as talking points, and just I found I like making really long videos because I just like to kind of babble, but it's beneficial to listen to people babble if they're babbling about like something real. I'm not just talking about like Cheetos and I don't know, like Jersey Shore or some crap. I like Cheetos, and I'm not trying to put down the Jersey Shore. But what I mean is, I'm not just kind of babbling for no reason. I want to help people. And the way I've been helped through Jeff and Shaleia is by listening to them speak in all of their classes and their videos. I listen. And as I listen to them, I'm getting my own insights, and I combine that with my own day-to-day experience, and then I talk, and I record it, and I share it with the world, and I think that's such a beautiful thing. I love doing this, and I do get to use my creativity, and I do get to just be myself, and it's really freaking awesome. I can't think, and even just now, what I'm doing right now is I'm arranging all the cards so they look really cool together, because I'm going to take a really cool picture for the thumbnail of this video. This whole reading is about being excited about your life. You may think, well, I thought this was a twin flame reading. What a jip. I want to know when the DM's coming home. Those readings are BS, first of all. And second of all, your twin flame journey is your journey to live the life that you fully love. And if you don't wake up in the morning excited for your day, that's really sad. Because you're a child of God, given so many talents and natural abilities and so much love to share. And to have that stunted or dampened or weakened or diluted by having to put your time and energy working for someone else and just perpetuating this cycle where, as Jeff would say, you come home from work, have a few beers, do it all over again the next day. It's this cycle of, there's nothing wrong with drinking beer. I'm just like, that cycle that I was in too of, I'm working because I need money. And I just keep going. And then I met my twin and bam, knocked me completely on my ass. Found life purpose class at Twin Flame Ascension School, and now my entire life is changed. Your awakening process. It doesn't just involve your twin. It does involve your twin, of course. But this reading was all about stepping into claiming your dreams. My best friend told me the other day that she wants to write a book. She loves books. She's going to school to be a librarian. Hi, if you're watching this, I love you very much. And she said to me, she was like, I realized, I've always said I want to write a book, that I just don't. And then I realized the only thing that's stopping me is the fact that I'm not writing it. Yeah, and I was so proud of her for realizing it. Nobody can ever stop you from doing anything except for you. And that's another thing about the people that are close to you. Who's supporting you in your life purpose? Who's not? Who would have you grow? And who would have you stay where you are? Or on the flip side, who would have you stop doing what you're doing because they think it's taking something from them? I'm personally thoroughly enjoying the process of my reality being revealed to me for what it truly is. As I continue to step into my power and continue to shine my light brighter and brighter, and refuse to let other people tell me what to do or how to be or what to think, I just feel so much more free. And this is what your twin flame journey should be about, is your freedom. This is actually reminding me of a blog post I wrote recently. So I'll link that in the description. But this is, this reading feels complete. And thank you for watching. If you have any questions about anything, visit my website, let me know. And have a beautiful day.